I wanted to eat, I first had to make it across the pool. My clothes couldn't get wet. If they did, I wasn't allowed into the dining hall. I watched the older students glide across the floating logs and thought it looked easy. The second I stepped on one, I fell straight into the water. By the time I climbed out and made it to the dining hall, a senior monk stopped me at the door. My clothes were soaked. I had no choice but to wait for them to dry. When I finally got inside, all the food was gone. I noticed another dining area nearby and walked over. That's when I learned it was reserved for the masters. The abbot told me that if I wanted to eat, I had to earn it. Then he pointed to a floating log. If I could stand on it, the bowl of porridge was mine. I stepped up. A second later, I was back in the water. As punishment, I spent the rest of the day washing dishes. The next morning, I tried sneaking into the dining hall by climbing the wall. I barely made it to the top before the abbot knocked me right back into the pool. Everyone burst out laughing. That was the moment I decided I wouldn't lose again. That night, after everyone went to sleep, I found 2 wooden barrels and started training by myself. I fell over and over again. Then I got back up. Little by little, I learned how to balance. Eventually, I could switch between the rolling barrels without falling. The next day, everyone waited to watch me fail. Instead, I leaped across the pool with ease. The entire courtyard went silent, but the abbot wasn't impressed. He replaced the logs with narrow wooden slats. Even the most skilled students started falling into the water. I tried it myself and failed too. To earn a meal, all of us trained day and night. Still, nothing seemed to work. Then the abbot handed me a plate and told me to throw it into the water. The plate sank immediately. Next, he demonstrated it himself. The plate skimmed across the surface and bounced away. Then he explained the lesson. The harder we stepped, the faster the wood would sink. At that moment, everything finally clicked. From then on, I trained beside the pool every night. Fall, get up, fall again, get up again. Days later, I finally mastered running across the water. The abbot had been watching the whole time. Soon after, he sent me to chamber 34. That chamber focused entirely on arm strength. I carried 2 buckets filled with water. Sharp blades were mounted on both sides. One mistake, and I'd cut myself badly. For 3 straight months, my hands were covered in blisters. Slowly, my body became as steady as a mountain. I could even help the other students while carrying the buckets. The abbot was pleased. Not long after, he sent me to chamber 33. There were no weapons there, only a wooden fish drum and a massive bell. Every time the abbot struck the drum, I had to strike the bell. At first, I thought it had nothing to do with martial arts. Then he handed me the hammer. I used every ounce of strength I had and still couldn't lift it. That's when I understood. This wasn't about ringing a bell. It was about training the wrists. The bamboo pole was nearly 12 feet long. The hammer hung from